I'm Mrs. Ludnicki, and the freshman class that you could be taking is computer graphics. It can only be taken with approval from your computer teacher from down at Warren, which is Mr. Murphy. It covers Photoshop, Illustrator, and sometimes we get some InDesign in, but it's part of the Adobe suite. It is a lot of application, as well as you have to be able to read and answer questions. If you really want to go into like maybe graphic design, if you want to go into game design or even web design, this class will help because you're working and manipulating images, you're creating vector graphics in Illustrator, which then is what's used on the internet, on your web sites. Graphic design, it's just a very, very basic. But if you're really into art and that's what you want to do is maybe go into drawing, working for Hallmark or something like that, then this is what you would need to start with. Benefits, it's very little lecture. There's going to be demonstration on how to do things, but you don't have to worry about a lot of lecture. You can be creative when it comes to some of the tests and the designing things on your own. If you do a really, really good job and can show that you can think outside the box and work independently, then you can get, by recommendation from me, you could end up in a Graphics 2 class. It has a really long name. It's Web and Digital Communications Project Management. It's Graphics 2, and it's all project-based. So we do senior banners. This year we made Valentine's, and we actually did a fundraiser. But a lot of banners, posters for the plays. You might be doing some, depending on how busy we are, you can create your own posters that we could turn around and try to sell. We've made bookmarks. So it's just a variety of different things. Again, if you're really interested in going into web design or game design and animation, and graphic design, this would be the beginning stuff.
So I teach 2 classes. The first one is computer apps, and the computer apps class is an introductory level class into just basic use of computers. We kind of focus on how to use productivity software, things like word processing, presentation, publication software, things like that. And then we also do some stuff with learning how to use different types of technology, like 3D design. We do some stuff with the 3D printer. We do a little bit with photo editing and things like that. So it's just kind of trying to introduce them to all these different technologies that they can use. The game design class is designed for students learning about different elements that go into designing video games. So producing, like the biggest thing is the computer programming and writing the code for a computer game, but also character design, story development, and things like that. I would recommend for the computer apps class that freshmen take it. The younger the better, because then a lot of the stuff that you learn in there you can apply to classes that you take through school. The game design class is designed for students that have completed a computer apps class and then have also completed either web design or computer graphics. And so it's a mastery level class, and it's a little bit more difficult. And so that's really designated for juniors and seniors. For the computer apps class, the biggest benefit is you just learn how to be more productive using technology. There's a lot of things that we do that students then can carry over to other classes and make life easier for themselves in school and hopefully in work also once they graduate. The game design class, especially if you want to get into a career in computers, it's good to know the programming piece and a lot of the things that we do. And so that's a huge benefit, I think, for kids that want a career in computers, is to do a class like that. The computer apps class really is kind of a basics for any career that you want to do. I mean, obviously everything involves computers now, so anything that you're going to do outside of school career-wise, you need to have some basic knowledge of how computers work. The video game or the game design class really is targeted towards kids that really want to do like the programming piece, if they want to be in computer science or computer programming. There's also an artistic design to it as far as like designing characters, whether it be 3D or 2D, and doing stuff like that. And so I think that's the purpose of that game design class is really if you want to get into a career in computers and doing things like that.
My name is Mrs. Anstein, and I teach for freshmen. I teach the Intro to Business or Business Essentials class. It's a semester-long class. So students will learn an overall, touch point on lots of different aspects of business. So we'll touch a little bit on marketing, a little bit on business administration, a little bit on finance, a little bit on hospitality and tourism and sports and entertainment marketing. So just a little bit on lots of different types of businesses and aspects of business. I recommend all freshmen because one of the things you'll learn that's very important for all freshmen to know is how to be a smart consumer. You want to save money when you're spending money so you can buy more. Other benefits are that you get to move up and to take our technical level and application level classes. So our technical level classes are our marketing class, our entrepreneurship class if you want to become a business owner, our business management class if you want to be in management in business, our Marketing 2 class, which actually currently are all the employees of the school store, which is the spiritware store located in the cafeteria. But we also are opening 2 new businesses this year. One is Pioneer Perk, it's the coffee shop, and the other one is right here. You're in the lab of it, and this is the Pioneer Print Shop. So we've got students in here working right now. They're creating shirts. They are stitching and embroidering shirts. We're making bags. We can print on socks. We can print on any type of fabric, and we make all kinds of apparel and accessories. So those technical and application level classes are much more spent in the lab and hands-on. So you'll want to take that entry level class so your later years here at the high school you can get into these classes.
So I teach 2 different pathways. I teach the manufacturing pathway and I teach the construction pathway. So in the manufacturing pathway, we learn the basics of drafting for mechanical parts, which is kind of mechanical pre-engineering sort of a pathway. So we do manual drafting and computer-aided drafting as well as parametric modeling. And then in the architectural pathway, we do a set of house plans, a full set of house plans. And then the senior class, we actually build models. So kind of the models that you see over there, those are the models that we build. And then we try to do client projects as well, along with internships. So anyone that's thinking about going into engineering or drafting and there's a lot of different drafting programs out there. There's a lot of different things you can do in engineering. Construction, if you're thinking about going into construction. If you like architecture, if you like designing houses, interior design, if you like working on interior design, building furniture, you like building computers or problem solving, so those kinds of people. I think the biggest benefit is problem solving. And so problem solving and rigor at students set a pretty high standard of completion and pushing themselves above and beyond and being able to problem solve the problems that they're actually working on, and learning about technology. So as far as future classes are concerned, we're actually a dual credited class. So students in this class actually can, if they choose to sign up, get college credit at the KCKCC. And a lot of those students might go into welding, or they might go into HVAC, or they might go into engineering, or they might go into drafting, or construction, or architect as well. I have a lot of architects that have gone through K-State, architectural engineers, mechanical engineers, computer engineers, all kinds of different fields like that.
It depends on the class. The introductory class would basically be everything you need to know to drive a car independently. So how to do roadside repairs, keep yourself from being taken advantage of a shop or in a dealership, emergency stuff, oil changes, tire repairs, stereo installation, things like that. Things that when I took over, designed that class, designed it for what I felt like my children needed to know before I let them drive along. So some of the things we do is teach you basically how to maintain your own vehicle so you don't have to pay for it. So some of the cheaper stuff that we can do It may cost you $5 or $10 to do it yourself, and $100 if you take it to a shop. So just things that you're going to come out of here knowing how to do things that you shouldn't have to pay somebody else to do, and that's going to save you a lot of money over a lifetime, especially when you're in high school and college, and at times when you really can't afford to pay somebody else to do that. This is a program that's owned by Highland Community College, so all the classes are good for college credit. If you complete the first 2 years with me, you can go to Highland for one more year and you'll have an associate's degree. So most of the students that leave here get hired by local shops and dealerships and such, and they're making, you know, if you walk into ZEC4, we got probably half a dozen of my students and they're making 6 figures right now. It is, if you decide to go all the way through it, it can be pretty lucrative when it comes to finances.
I am Mrs. Thornton. This is my first year at Leavenworth High School, and I teach Introduction to Family Consumer Sciences this year in Culinary, Essentials of Culinary Arts. But no, because we learn about how to be healthy physically, we learn how to develop our intellect, and emotional intelligence, and our social intelligence. Anybody that wants to become better at creating stronger families and stronger societies, anybody that wants to just develop their personal skills and sees issues perhaps in families and wants to look at it scientifically and how to make them better, because it leads to careers that help those entities, but it also helps you personally. Well, Introduction to FACS leads to textiles, it leads to teaching, it leads to anything with leadership. We have the teaching pathway, we have the culinary pathway. What other pathway do we have? Huh? Fashion pathway, yes, don't forget about that. So, and we teach a lot about environments, how to make environments conducive to developing the whole person. So even in your home, what can you do to make it a peaceful place for your family to thrive?
Okay, that's it. Family continues. All right, do you want to go?
And we're in culinary classroom, and we're talking specifically about culinary essentials and culinary arts. In culinary, they'll learn food handlers who serve safety, sanitation, about sanitation and cleaning. They'll learn about cooking all different kinds of things. And they'll learn how to plate and serve. So it should be a fun class that they can developing a lot of cooking skills. So you will learn how to apply salt, fat, acid, and heat to cooking. So you might have the same product or same ingredients, but they might come out completely different based on how you use these items in your cooking method. So we make pizza, we make yeast breads, quick breads, we do dinner, we do breakfast. We learn about convection, radiation, and conduction heating. So it's endless what we do. And our goal is to eventually be serving different clubs and outside of our classroom. So performing dinners. Event planning, being able to apply math skills, being able to apply how to prepare a meal for others, and team skills, communication skills, processing skills. So I think it's a fun class because you get to work together and create something almost every day you're in the class.